You probably can't even tell that I've been eating garlic, can you?
No, no. I think it's.
Oh,
Oh well, you don't have to really help me out there. No, I think
I did that.
my kitchen at home has an interesting smell, and I'm not sure what it is. It's like,
Well,
you
in
take the
our
compost
house,
out?
we grow garlic, we eat garlic, we brush with
Mm.
garlic. We live with it.
It's
Yeah.
it's a thing, I guess.
Along with a lot of records.
Well, that,
Vinyl, is very good for your health.
I think so.
Oh, you
Uh,
can't get enough of it.
so
Vitamin
let's
V.
let's do a grab bag. I don't know
I
the number.
love grab bags.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like grab bags.
Oh,
So,
they were my favorite. And I saw some big bags too.
Oh
There
yeah,
they are. Yeah.
Those are under my eyes. Those are the big bags right there. But
Well, you know why I wear dark glasses.
well, there you go. There you go. All right. So
Talk
first up,
about
folks,
bags.
we have Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, and this is, maybe this might have been my first band to see. I was at Disneyland back in the 1971, probably, maybe earlier. I don't know. It was like my first time to Disneyland, and they have that pop-up stage that's a garden, and it comes up. And
Well, we
Gary
should say
Puckett-
it's a restaurant, and the first time that
that's
happened
a
to me,
big thing,
I
a
didn't know
restaurant.
there was music there or a band or anything, and the band came up because it comes from a lower level,
Right.
and you just think,
Wow.
I hear music, but I don't see a band,
Yeah.
and then they hydraulically lift them up in front of you.
It's pretty magical for me too.
Boy,
But Gary Puckett and the Union Gap came up, and that's a pretty big band. I didn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
at my age. I mean, I might have been 7 or 8, 9 maybe. I don't know, but it was a great band to get to see, and I always liked that they had these like little uniforms, right? That look like Union soldiers or something, like some sort of military soldier.
well, that might be a takeoff. I don't know who was first, and I could be wrong, but Paul Revere and the
Right,
Raiders
right,
was
right.
the first band that I remember with
Doing
that.
and said, "Hey, yeah, let's go there." But Willpower and Woman and Lady Willpower, yeah, that was it. Those are great hits. I enjoyed
I
them.
especially like Woman. That's I believe,
How about
Jim
Young Girl?
Glaze. Young Girl? Is that what it's
Young Girl. That's another one. There's Woman and the Young Girl. Lady Willpower, yeah. All those three, I think, are their biggest hits. I got to see them later too. I think it was the Tacoma Dome, and it was a little weird seeing, a 50-year-old guy going, "Young girl, get." I was like, "Hey, now, hey, that could be trouble."
I hear you. I hear you.
But that's Gary Puckett and Union Gap, and then we have Pure Food and Drug. Now, I don't know much about that band, so I'm hoping Dizzy will.
I've never, to this moment, this is the first time I've ever known there was a
Dang.
band that title.
Well, it's featuring Harvey Mandel and Sugarcane Harris. So
Well, I
it
know those
seems
two
like they
names.
could be.
Isn't Sugarcane Harris the harmonica player?
No, a violin player,
Oh, violin player.
violin but fiddle. And he did stuff with Jefferson Airplane.
Wow,
And,
didn't know that.
And Harvey Mandel did a lot of things with a lot of people, including himself. Didn't he? Oh, I'm probably going to get it wrong, so I'm going to stay away from it. And Amy Lee. So that's Pure Food and Drug. And I don't know if they came out of Chicago. I kind of guess that might be, but
Well, we know that Harvey Mandel in recent years has been with, is it the Chicago Living Legends?
no, it's Chicago.
Blues Legends?
No, no, it's not that either. Look down in the thing because I'll write it in there. Blues Reunion.
Blues Reunion, Chicago Blues Reunion.
Yes. Well, we're getting-
And they lost
we're
their
getting in
lead
trouble.
singer this year, Nick Gravenites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that
Barry Goldberg is still there, and Corky
Mm-hmm.
Siegel, of course,
right.
and Harvey Mandel.
Mandel, yeah. But yeah, it's getting harder, And they also had Nelson, Tracy Nelson. also
That's right.
was
So
in
they
that
do
group.
have a good female vocalist. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But I like this. I remember I liked this. Even just reading the
Is it
artist.
a big band? Is it more than 5 or 6 people, or what do you think?
It's 5 here that they list. I mean, there might be
So there's really maybe
additional-
no horn section per
maybe
se.
additional people, but probably not. Probably
It's
not
a
horn
promo
section.
copy too, yeah.
Ooh. But the choice
Well,
cuts here.
don't worry, it won't up the price of that record.
Choice cuts. But I enjoyed that. It's in my area of blues
Okay.
and such. How about this band? He looks puzzled.
Is that the name of the
They're
group?
puzzle. Puzzle.
What's the name of the band?
Puzzle.
Puzzle?
Puzzle. They're Washington, D.C.
It could have been Puddle. It could have been
With that
a lot
cover?
of different names.
With that cover?
No,
come
I have
on.
to admit that's a puzzle. But I'm looking at it and I'm going, I'm puzzled too.
And even this part, it's kind of,
Psychedelic.
yeah, well, that's it. Psychedelic rock, blues rock, hard rock. It's all that.
What's next?
It's all that. Well, that was Puzzle. So after Puzzle, we'll go on to the next. I'm sorry I had a little break there, but we'll get to the next one. This one's got a lot of fun blues, rocky stuff, psychedelic. So, if you're into psychedelic rock, that might be one that you might like to look for. Quicksilver, which we've talked about a little bit, I think, in the past. They had the hit Fresh Air.
Well, I've sometimes said the first Quicksilver record is my favorite. Self-titled record was Quicksilver Messenger Service.
that-
Before they,
Is that this one? No, that's Just for Love.
yeah.
Did we do this one already? I can't.
Well, those are when Dino Valente, I believe, and the band were together. And I'm not a fan of that particular
period.
era.
Uh-huh.
I was more for the original lineup that was on Happy Trails and was on the self-titled Quicksilver Messenger Service.
Well, I might have those. I don't know, but I think maybe that's why I have these, is because these were a little easier to find. than the
Well, this
Cherish
is
stuff.
an era of it after they were really well established. You could sell their albums, maybe with not as good a material, but maybe sell more of them just because now they got a name, and now
Right.
they've not only got records out, but they've been coast to coast a couple times, playing all over.
Well, this one does have Fresh Air on it, and that's, I think, one of the biggest hits.
Yeah.
I always remember Fresh Air. Give me
And that's
another hit
Dino
of Fresh
Valente
Air.
for sure singing that.
It comes to that question that someone gave us about bands from the San Francisco Sound versus bands in Oakland or bands in Marin County or LA. I thought about it, and definitely a difference between LA and San Francisco. I mean, bands were coming from all over the country to go to LA, play the Whiskey a Go-Go, or live in Laurel Canyon and get signed. Right? They're all trying to get signed and get.
Well,
out there.
I would say that, because we have to remember that's where David Crosby was, Stephen Stills, and so many others, John Sebastian, and so much music came out of there, but it was never labeled L.A. or Southern California music. But in San Francisco, because it came out of kind of an unexpected place, ballrooms and dancing. I think that's overlooked sometimes, that people forget that it was minimal amount of seating with a huge dance floor. And people made use of that dance floor.
Unless they were out playing in the park, and then it was a bigger deal.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But but then your Bay Area, I don't know if you think Sly Stone, would you call him more Oakland or?
Never.
Berkeley?
No. Remember, I told you this, that that's a good thing to remember. Sly Stone really came out of a little club in San Mateo, California, called the Firestone.
Okay.
That was no more than 100 seats, and he played there for years and years and years in obscurity. You said that he was a local San Francisco, Oakland DJ, probably on a soul station.
Right.
And so he really came out of what we'll call south.
Okay, but it's Bay Area,
Bay
Bay
Area.
Area, but he's a suburb, and I don't know. I don't think we can call Oakland a suburb. It's a big place. But Tower of Power had a different sound, a funkier sound, and so did Sly have a funkier sound than your kind of.
Well, it didn't seem like a San Francisco sound. Well, that's why it maybe gets placed into Oakland, you know, because the Oakland's really the nearest racially mixed city
right,
of
right,
size.
right, yeah, and
And they did title Tower of Power, especially East Bay Grease,
Grease,
and
right,
things like that,
right.
you know. And a lot of those musicians probably were from the East Bay.
right. But they did play, the Fillmore as well.
Well-
and they had players that were playing in the other bands, right? You had Mick Gillette playing in Cold Blood, and he also played in Tower of Power. And then, of course, you had the Tower of Power Horns, which was playing with everybody at some point. And
No, that's true.
and and thank goodness, because I think that makes all those records that much more rich.
Well,
you know.
I want to make it clear that at least for the time when I lived in San Francisco, I never knew of any venue of any size in Oakland or Marin. In Marin County, from the Golden Gate Bridge north, there was one small place in Corte Madera, which is a very small.
That's all right. That's all right. There's more
So
for that.
anyway, in the Sweetwater, the members of the Grateful Dead, when they weren't touring, and they just wanted to work out some new material, would play Sweetwater. And to this day, it's now called Sweetwater Music Hall, and it's been relocated to Mill Valley, and it's now a 300-seat venue.
Oh.
And
I wonder if that's the band Sweetwater was named after the venue, or if there's no connection at all. Oh well.
I doubt
Things
it
to
is a
study
connection.
in your
Might
spare
be.
time.
Yeah.
All right, and so let's do another one. We have a little-known artist that really, Bonnie Raitt. I'm kind of joking here, little known. We all know Bonnie Raitt, but her first 10 albums just kind of, she was marketed, pushed, and all that, but she just never really.
I think they're her best albums.
Oh, I do too. I love all these early records.
I think if you get these, you've got the heart and soul of Bonnie Raitt. I love the one she did. Is this the one album that has Bluebird on it?
No, not in this one.
Yeah. But no, she these early is it a Reprise you said?
No,
Warner
I didn't
Brothers.
say. I don't know. I'll pull it out and we'll see. It's a Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Warner
Yeah.
Brothers.
All the early Warner Brothers are fantastic. You just go from 1 to 6 or so.
I remember
They're terrific.
I had other relatives that were like going, "Yeah, the Bonnie Raitt, this great artist, great, fantastic," but she wasn't.
No, she was
hitting-
still in obscurity for
Yeah,
most of
she
those
was still
years.
playing, like in Seattle, she was playing the Backstage, which, it's an okay venue, but it's not the Paramount. It's not,
No, it's not a major club or
it's not huge.
venue.
It's
You
not
know?
a huge
No.
venue. So she kept playing the small clubs for a long
Well,
time.
not only that, she
And-
would
on
show
old
up
blues
on blues festivals and
Right.
things like that, where
Right.
and folk festivals. I
Right.
remember her being on an album with Steve Goodman, and a lot of people that I can't remember because they were so minor in the world of music. Yeah.
But
And you know what's funny, because she's a redhead. There was many years where she was gray-haired before she dyed her hair red. And you look at her albums and this and that, looks like she's a redhead there.
yeah, maybe, I don't know.
But
It's dark.
probably before those Warner Brother albums. But
Yeah.
if you get the early years when she sang with other artists and all.
Yeah, and she
when
also had a
you
tuba
know,
player. I remember Freebo, I think was his name. And it was just a little different sound, different mix. And then she did stuff like this one I've heard on probably on YouTube, but it's done with a radio station where she was with Lowell George.
Oh, that would be good
Little
to hear.
Feat, and it is good to hear. I think I've got the the CD of it. That's
You know, when you're
produced.
starting out, I've always noticed this with many artists. They'll team up, and anybody who's got work for me, I don't
Yeah.
have to be the headliner.
Right, and she did a lot of stuff with a lot of the older blues musicians. You know, she definitely did a lot.
Sippy Wallace.
Sippy
She
Wallace, yeah.
did an album with her,
Yeah.
where she just did 1 or 2 tracks on Sippy Wallace's album, and she always promoted Sippy Wallace with, at a live concert, mentioned that Sippy Wallace.
I have
was
her at the
her
Ann Arbor
inspiration.
Blues Festival.
There you go, at a concert, which is,
She's with
she's
Sippy
not
Wallace.
holding down the whole thing.
Right, but she's also with a lot of other older blues artists that I think she's mentioned how they're drinking and everything else, which I think was a problem for her at some point. But
I'm not sure
I
of
think
that.
her voice, I think it was almost too sweet in the early years, and she got that a little more gruff as she got older, and added a little more edge to her voice. And I think she's happy that happened, because it adds that little extra edge to it, at least in my opinion. But I'm also with Dizzy here as far as any Bonnie Raitt album is great. They're all great. There's always some new surprise in there. Okay, our last artist for today, Rare Earth. Rare Earth. Oh no, I hate when I look over at Dizzy and I see that kind of lost puppy dog eyes going on. Oh, what we
How
got?
can you do that under my glasses? I thought for sure you couldn't see them.
I just,
Well,
I don't know.
the best thing about this is it comes with a poster of some sort.
Comes with a poster and it opens up. I mean, you get this little
Got a great liner
thing,
there.
which is always fun when a record has.
Looks like a complete package there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the band, and I remember it being on the radio. What's the song, or any song there that I know?
Let me look here real quick. I just want to celebrate
Oh, that was big.
another
Oh
day
God,
of living.
Dizzy fails on that one. Dizzy fails miserably. Wow.
But I think they also had a couple other ones. I'd get ready here.
Don't take Dizzy to a trivia contest. He's not going to win.
Danger.
He's going to be a loser.
Okay, that's it for today's grab bag.
I did enjoy it, but I must admit, I'd never seen most of these records ever. I'm always amazed at, especially in the new music that comes out. I listen to videos of the top 25 new albums, and one person can mention their top 25, and another person has a competing show and mentions the top 25, and they will both have very few of the same ones that they pick.
Right.
Where if you pick the best bands from, say, 1967, Sgt. Pepper's may just be everybody's favorite.
Right.
Right.
I think a lot of times people that are doing those are trying to get something that's off the beaten path. They don't want to say, oh, it was Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. It was...
Well, and nowadays when record sales
Rolling
doesn't
Stones.
help you at all because it's downloads and things like that, so that might be the problem.
yeah. But if you really want to know who the top 10 are, see on Spotify what's the biggest sales. There you are. That'll tell you
Might surprise you.
who the biggest ones are. Well, it might not. It might be Abbey Road. Well, it surprised me. It was like I was watching something. Oh, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I was watching a documentary on Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and they got album of the year for their album against Abbey Road.
Wow. Blow me out of the
Blew them
water
out of the
on
water,
the
right?
whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I do love Spinning Wheel and all that, but it's pretty amazing.
Shows the
feat,
test of time what happens. Ooh.
Yeah, look at that. Go.
That's a good trivia thing there.
Well,
I
we
give you
try to do
credit for that, champ.
One up.
A champ gets another winning comment.
All right. Well,
Speaking of comments, if you leave a comment below, yeah.
all right. Catch you next time. Champ out.